Dan, how are you?
Sure.
Head coach Katrina Merriweather, she'll start with an opening statement.
Well, obviously, we have had some success in the fourth quarter of trying to have some comebacks, but that is harder and harder to do when you play really good teams. I thought we had a decent game plan. We had some defensive lapses that I think led to some runs. We had a moment there where we really struggled scoring the ball. But overall, where we are in this season, in this program, I'm excited about the steps that we're taking forward.
Coming out of this like this, you're playing a top 15 team. What's kind of a message to your team going into a game like this?
Just an incredible opportunity, but we talk about playing with gratitude anyway. Opportunity to play this game, the visibility that women's basketball has right now, the level of play in the Big 12. It's just overall exciting. So of course you play with a little bit of ease. I think when you come in and play the number 11th teams, you know the expectation is that you just go out there and give it your best shot. But we approach every game with the intent to compete, to win in the last 2 minutes. But it's always going to be an amazing experience anytime we get to play this game.
Well, you guys definitely gave TCU some problems that looked like they were a little bit uncomfortable on offense. Just talk about the way your defense played tonight and kind of allowing you to stay in this game.
Yeah, I think that when we lock into a game plan, right, and it's tough when you have so many good players on the floor at the same time. You can play probability and try to take away some things, but in reality, when players are talented and they're confident and they've been playing well all season, it's hard to come up with something that's actually going to work for 40 minutes. And but I can appreciate the willingness of our team, right, to buy into a game plan and to do their best to execute it.
Julian gave 20 tonight, a really efficient night for her, 13 shots taken plus the 8 rebounds. She's been so important for you guys this year. How does she impact your offense overall, her ability to get into the lane, get into the range shots? And it looked like it was working for the most part more or less.
Yeah, she has a very unique skill set. She's one of a very rare type of player that I've ever coached in terms of she's really a 5'4". She has a really good interior game, and then she has the ability to knock down some outside shots. We're just really proud of her defensively. Her not getting in foul trouble and being on the floor is what her biggest growth from 1 year to the next has been. And, of course, her leadership. She's always talking, always keeping the composure and the team together. So I'm proud of her. But she's our double-double queen. You know, she figures it out for us.
At one point, I think Madison hit, 2 or 3 big three-pointers in a row there in the late third, early fourth quarter to help kind of stretch the lead for TCU. What's your message to your team in moments like that when maybe the lead starts to distance a little bit? Yeah,
I think when that starts to happen, those are defensive lapses, right? Because you know what people's strengths are out there. And even when we tried to press, and our press breakers are actually very similar, where we put a shooter in the front court. And for us to not adjust to that can be a little frustrating sometimes. But I do think that we just have to keep competing. And that's something that we don't just talk about in basketball, we talk about in life. You can't give up. You got to just keep taking a step forward and trying to be better. So as frustrated as we may get sometimes when things don't go our way, I think it's important to stay composed. And I do hope that that's something that our women take into in the real world when it's time.
One thing to scout a team, it's another thing to play them. What's your impression of TCU after tonight?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they don't just give those rankings away. You know, there's obviously interior threats and exterior threats, and what I really love about the way they play is the way they share the ball. And for us, 14 assists is pretty good too tonight. But I think it just shows you when you have playmakers out there, it just makes it hard. Again, when you try to sit on Haley's left hand, and then she has the ability to throw a hook skip to the other side, you know, you're just talking about highly skilled players in that space. But this league, I love playing in it because we just get challenged every night. We talk a lot about 75-25 games, 50-50 games, and 25-75 games. And for us, it's tough to get a 75-25 game. And when you come on the road and you play a game like this, you know that you're not supposed to win. But what I love about our team is how that doesn't matter. And we don't think about that. We just go out and play the best basketball we can.
You mentioned this league and kind of just looking at your next opponent. What's kind of your message to your team as you look ahead?
We take one game at a time. Really, I think what's key for us in our transition into the Big 12 is not to get high with the highs or low with the lows. We talk a lot about being even keel, and we celebrate small victories until they turn into the big ones. And so we're going to take this game and we're going to pick it apart. I think it's the first game in a long time we got out rebounded, even though it was just by 3. So we'll take a look at what that was about and how do we figure that out? Like, how do we, despite a size disadvantage, figure out how to get our hands on more balls? Again, I thought we did a good job taking care of the ball. We usually get to the free throw line a lot more than 14 shots. And so we'll take a look at how we were not as aggressive in the first half where we didn't shoot a free throw. So, we'll go back and look at it. And we always talk about being in the lab, in the war room, and we'll figure out how to be better next time. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.